All in Sports Network. We love sports.
We are live here on the Chiefs Report after a tough 28-21 loss for the Kansas City Chiefs over the Buffalo Bills. Today we talk about the game. Today we talk about the breakdown and really what went wrong for the Chiefs because trust me, they lost by 7, but there was a lot of stuff that went wrong. So in some aspects, you can say that they could have won if they did this or if they'd have done that or if Patrick would have had a little more time. I mean, the offensive line really wasn't the problem. The coverage downfield was good, but we're going to break it all down. I'm Jay Sanders. This is the Chiefs Report on the Rogue Sports Media Network. Hope you're having a great Sunday, even though the Chiefs did lose today. So let's talk about it. Let's start with kind of the play-by-play of this game, go throughout the entire contest, and kind of break it down through that. So we first start with the first quarter where the Chiefs really only got one drive, and it was a punt. 3 plays, 3 yards. They never were able to get anything going. It's hard when you only have one drive in the first quarter to consider anything a slow start, but in the same aspect, you wanted Patrick Mahomes, you wanted this team to be able to come out, especially on the road in Orchard Park and in a position where they're fighting to keep this win streak alive, to show that the wins against the Commanders, the win against the Raiders and the Lions, that they weren't just this team figuring out its footing. It was this team saying, "Hey, we are going to be in this matchup. We are going to be in the AFC. We are going to be contending for this AFC title." And with the Indianapolis Colts losing today, you could have pulled that one game closer and tied up the Bills. You'd have put yourself in a better position. And unfortunately, that's not what happened. It's not. And for a team that all too well in the regular season, and unfortunately, this result all too well in the regular season. You're now 1-5 against Josh Allen in the regular season. The bright spot is you're 4-0 against him in the postseason, and that's great at a lot of times. But the problem that you have, and the problem that continues to come up, is the regular season never tends to go the right way for the Chiefs. It never tends to end well. It never tends to be the way that you want it to go down. Now, luckily for the Chiefs, the second quarter, pretty good. You're able to put on a touchdown, 7 plays, 53 yards. Very good game from Hollywood Brown, very good game from the co-players that we're talking about. But the defense was good, not great. And I don't want to sit here and blame the defense for this loss. In fact, I really don't think anybody deserves blame for this loss. Ultimately, the Bills were the better team, which is in somewhat a more harsh reality to come to than if you did something wrong or if you did that. I mean, you had plenty of plays where Patrick Mahomes was able to extend the play. You had plenty of plays where he was able to get out of the pocket. He was able to make it go longer. And unfortunately, it really didn't amount to much. You get the field goal at the very end of the first half to have that score be, somewhat manageable at 21-13. And then you get the ball back, right? You have a chance to get a 2-for-1. Obviously, that last drive at the end of the first half, you are on the 1-yard line. Hollywood makes an amazing catch and just falls a yard short. You try and get up there quick, and then Sean McDermott, credit to him, called the timeout, was able to get the big boys in there, didn't allow the Chiefs to just rush up there with what was a smaller offensive line for the Buffalo Bills, and it ended up being where it was the right choice for McDermott. He waited as long as he could, took the timeout, put the big boys out there. Kareem Hunt couldn't get in on that 1 yard. And then after that, I mean, there was a couple of I didn't like the play designs personally. I know that the point of that second down play was for Xavier Worthy to come in and go out and be open in the flat, but he should be faster, I guess, is the one point is he should have had more space, but he didn't have that space. Travis Kelce was sitting wide open, but at that point, because Patrick was so intent on finding Xavier Worthy, he threw over there. It was incomplete. And then you go to a third down in which you need points, so this is a legitimate third down. Like, if you don't get it, it's not like you're going to go for it on fourth down. You're at the 1-yard line, but you can't just go for it because the half's going to end. So at that point, you have to do something. I don't want to say that Mahomes tried to force it to Kelce, but I don't think it was the best decision to snap the ball, look at Kelce, and throw it right away. I know you didn't have a lot of time. I understand that. 9 seconds is more than a 1-2 count. The fact that the Bills even had a chance to make the play after the kickoff should tell you all you need to know about how much time was left. But either way, you still got points. You're only down 21-13 at that point. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion, you get the ball to half. Things can change very quickly. But once again, as you did in the first quarter, you come out and you look lackluster. In the entire third quarter, you had 9 plays for a combined 17 yards. Now, at the same breath, Patrick Mahomes did all he could. The coverage for the Buffalo Bills was better. He was extending plays. He was making sure that he gave his receivers all the time in the world to get open. And what is frustrating to me is that when that tends to happen for the Chiefs, Travis Kelce gets open. You have the fastest wide receiver in my mind, Xavier Worthy. He gets open. Rashee Rice, who has had such a good couple games back from his suspension, he gets open. But no one was. No one was open. No one was getting it. If you look at the film and you look at those replays, it wasn't like Patrick Mahomes missed somebody. It wasn't like Patrick Mahomes was like looking at one receiver when one was wide open. He's the best at knowing where a defense is going to be, but the Bills' defense was spectacular today. And I really hate to give them credit, but I need to. I mean, they ran 16 plays in the third quarter to your 9. They also scored a touchdown in the end of the third quarter to go up 28-13. James Cook had a fantastic day. Obviously, Josh Allen got in for a touchdown, had 2 rushing touchdowns. The problem with the Chiefs' defense is a rushing quarterback, and when you add in the fact that this Bills team, for as lackluster as their receiving core can look on paper, they have a really good running back, and a running back that can be a receiving back. They have a really good quarterback who can run the ball when he needs to. The receiving core may not have one top guy, but they've got a lot of really solid guys, and Shakir and Keon Coleman, and being able to work at the tight ends like Dawson Knox and Kincaid. It's just, you almost felt overmatched, which is not something you usually like to see against Buffalo. I understand it's on the road. There's a lot of intricacies to this. I think Isaiah Pacheco makes a difference, but in the same tone, the Buffalo Bills were without one of their top defensive linemen. The Buffalo Bills were without a pretty good wide receiver, and they're without a linebacker. I mean, there's going to be injuries on both sides that affect each game, but it stinks because you really look at this rushing attack, and it was pretty bad. The touchdown in the fourth quarter for the Chiefs was very good. 11 plays, 66 yards. That was the best drive of the day by far by the Chiefs. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes was able to sting plays. Play of the drive there, finding Hollywood Brown on an open streak route, just on a third down and long, being able to get him out there. Obviously, a couple plays to Kelce. You get down, you get the end zone. It's a very good thing for so many different reasons. But at the end of the day, guess what? That was the touchdown. That was the drive. And after that, it didn't go well. You forced the punt. You're thinking, okay, you got it. Interception, 5 plays, 10 yards. It stinks because you had a chance there. You had a legitimate chance. And I understand it's third down and long, and you got to go for it, 3rd and 10. And they just chucks it up, and you chuck it to Xavier Worthy, and he's double covered, and they pick it off. Like, in all reality, it was a punt. But the plays prior, not being able to get any distance with Kareem Hunt, I would have loved to see more of Brashard Smith in a receiving back game. You're able to get the benefit that the Bills then missed the field goal, but time expired. You didn't have a lot of time. You had 22 seconds. It's just not what you want from a standpoint of this team going on the up and up and then having this happen. Let's take a look at some stats. Let's kind of discuss some people that I would love to see more of, like Brashard Smith. 3 rushes, 7 yards. I understand that's not a good ratio. I understand it's not like a good average yards per rush. But you only ran the ball 20 times, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire ran 2 of those. Guy wasn't on the roster until 2 days ago, pulled up from practice squad. James Cook, 27 carries, 114 yards. Josh Allen, 23 for 30 for 26, 273 yards, 1 touchdown. I understand he was sacked 3 times and had a QB rating of 123. But it's really frustrating when you think the secondary is in a good spot. And then a quarterback like Josh Allen, who's not Marcus Mariota, who's not Geno Smith. To some extent, he's not Jared Goff. I don't think Jared Goff is an amazing quarterback either. The amazing quarterback comes in and he eats up your secondary. I mean, that's an amazing percentage. Patrick Mahomes had his worst completion percentage of his entire career today. 15 for 34, had a 57 QB rating. And yet the hardest part is I don't really blame him. The incompletions were more product of the fact that he had not a lot of time. There was not much he could do, and he was just trying to extend plays. Listen, there's so much we could sit here and talk about. There's so much we could look at this and say, well, this was the problem, or this was the problem. But if you really want to go to the root of this problem, it's that you were outplayed. It's that this trade deadline on Tuesday has to be a successful one. It's what I've been saying for the past 2 weeks, basically, now at this point. The Kansas City Chiefs, long past 5 years, have always looked like they were going to figure it out. That losses like this, where they just couldn't get that last little bit, you only lose by 7, or games like this, you felt confident they were going to win them later. You felt confident that there was a play here or a play there that they could have changed. And I'm sure that's the case here. I'm sure we can pick some plays and change them up and the game goes a different route. But those plays weren't product of Chiefs' mistakes, but rather Bills' successes. The coverage that they had all game long. Again, I'm going to have to go back. I'll watch the tape. We'll have a podcast tomorrow. We'll talk about if the coverage was that good, if Mahomes is not seeing right. There's a lot of things to kind of digest in that. And, we're just trying to go off our instant reaction here, seeing what's the baseline for this. And if there's a way where this team can come back next week and look better, and it's a bye week, you get the whole week off, and you have a really tough schedule. Denver, Indianapolis, Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Big games, especially Denver, interdivision. They had 2 losses. You had 3 losses. The hope was you were able to win this game. You were going to keep those 3 losses, get 6 wins, and that you could face Denver and potential to, jump them in the standings. Now, not really a reality unless I don't know Denver's schedule in the back of my hand, but unless they have a bye week, that's just not a possibility. But we're going to talk through the stats. We're going to talk through all that. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll discuss the stats and where we go from here. We'll be right back here on the Rogue Media Sports Network.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. Unlock your full potential with On It, your go-to for premium supplements, fitness gear, and wellness essentials. Whether you're training hard, recovering faster, or just looking to feel your best, On It has the tools you need to perform at your peak. Visit Onnit, that's ONNIT.com, and elevate your mind, body, and spirit today. At Rolls Rolla, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
At Tusain's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Calling all Marvel fans, get Marvel Unlimited and unlock over 30,000 comics featuring your favorite heroes and iconic stories, all available to read anytime, anywhere. Whether you're into classic tales or the latest adventures, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out. Head to marvel.com/unlimited today and start your Marvel journey now. At Angel Bliss, we believe every parent's journey is a beautiful adventure. Our mission is to make it joyful and stress-free with thoughtful, safe, and innovative products. Born from a love for family, we promise peace of mind for parents and comfort for babies. From playtime to bedtime, every Angel Bliss product is designed with care, reliability, and a style to nurture the special bond between parent and child. Angel Bliss, creating happy memories, one baby at a time. Visit us at angelbliss.us. Angel Bliss.
Chiefs lose 28-21 to the Buffalo Bills in what was a pretty tough game to watch. I'm not going to lie. And it continues on as I kind of go back to my original point that it wasn't tough to watch because the Chiefs did this or the Chiefs did that. It was tough to watch because ultimately this game was just not something that I expected to see. The Chiefs were outplayed. Outplayed. You can say what you want about the interception. You can say a lot of things about this team, but ultimately there was one interception. It was basically a punt for all you could think about. And now what happens from here? Like how does I understand you're without Isaiah Pacheco, but it continues on for me to say that the trade deadline has to be a success. And the problem that I have, and maybe y'all have an opinion against this, but what fixes this besides an edge rusher? What legitimately helps this team and helps the better question, what player can you get to win this game for you? Because I guarantee you, if you play the Bills in the postseason, this is going to be a similar game. Now, I know the Chiefs are way more successful in the postseason, and the game can go very differently. And we still have a lot of stuff to talk about in that the home games are better. And if there's a way they can get back to Arrowhead and play there in the postseason, that's great. Because we can see here, guess what? The Bills are great at home, and the Chiefs are not great away. That right there can tell you a lot about a team. 1-3 for the Chiefs away, 4-1 at home for the Bills. So kind of creates to an even starker remark that if you can't get to Arrowhead in the playoffs, how does this team look? How does this team look? You've looked good against the Raiders, good against the Lions, who I guess are a pretty good team. You look good against the Commanders, who are a decent team, but they didn't have Jaden Daniels. It's tough when I only see 15 receptions because I know this Chiefs team is so talented in that past couple weeks had 25 plus receptions. The good news is there was really only 23 receptions on the other side too. But Dalton Kincaid, receiving tight end, 6 receptions for 101 yards. Ultimately, the two biggest downfalls of this Chiefs team and the thing that they really can't figure out how to cover, how to defend, how to whatever you want to call it, is a receiving tight end and a rushing quarterback. And the Buffalo Bills not only have one receiving tight end, they have 2, but they also have a rushing quarterback. And what? You had multiple guys catching a ball here. You had 11 different receivers for the Buffalo Bills catch a ball. 11 different receivers, and the Chiefs had 6. And 4 receptions were Rice, 4 receptions for Kelsey. Kareem had 1. Juju had 1. It's tough because, again, I continue to look at this team. I continue to look at their abilities and how far I think they can go. And up until this game, there was a positivity behind that. There was we can go to the AFC Championship. We can feel that. But right now, I really don't know that. I really don't know that I can sit here and look you in the eye and say, yeah, this team, AFC Championship bound for sure. Because You're 1-3 away, and if you have to play games on the road in the postseason, how does that look? Your division is a madhouse. The Chargers didn't look good today. I mean, they were losing to the Titans at one point, but they were able to pull the win. You have the Broncos, who look very good week in, week out. I know this week that they struggled in Houston, but they still found a way to win. It's hard to see this AFC be so clustered at the top and not think the Chiefs can rise above them all. But it's also really tough to look at this team and say that, yeah, they're not going to be playing at Arrowhead this postseason, but they're going to win on the road. They're going to win on the road. I don't see it, but defensive-wise, Nick Bolton had a great game, had a sack from Trent McDuffie. The cornerback came in. Leo Chenal had a sack. Karlaftis and Ashton Gialetti had a great sack. So if you want to take some big positives from this game, it's that the defensive line, at least interior-wise, it's in a good spot. Ashton Gialetti is going to be a guy that has been heavily leaned upon since the injury to Omar Norman-Lott, and he played well. If we look at the schedule, though, there's a couple of big things coming up in that you have, again, this bye week upcoming, but now after that, you have to lock in. You have to lock in. And you've got to win. I mean, of the last, what do you want to call that? 7 games, you've got to win, I would say. Or 8 games, rather. I want to say you have to win 6. And I think that's possible. I really do. You play Denver twice. I think it's hard for a team to win in this division, especially this year, in 2 games in a row. Indianapolis showed that they were not going to be as locked out of a team as they could be this week when they lost to the Steelers. Dallas is a team you can beat. Their defense is horrendous. We'll see how they play tomorrow. We'll see if they make any moves at the deadline. Houston today, you'll get them at home, so you play better there. And Denver just beat them. You expect you to beat them. Los Angeles, a team that you lost to early on the season, first game of the year. So trying to get that revenge. It'll be in Kansas City. Tennessee's not a good team. Denver, we already discussed. And then Las Vegas, a team that you can beat. So if you look through this schedule, you're thinking, okay, there's 2 against Denver. We'll say we go 1-1. Indianapolis is a question mark of a game. Dallas, I think, is a win. Houston, I think, is a win. Los Angeles, you're at home. I'll give you a win. Tennessee's a win. And you can beat Las Vegas. So in theory, if there's a couple of question mark games, let's say Indianapolis, Los Angeles, and Dallas are the real turners of a game. If you can win 2 or 3 of those games, you feel pretty confident about yourself. But as of right now, after this loss to Buffalo, after a 3-game win streak in your past 6 prior to this, you had won 5 of them. You now need to come out here and play well. Denver's going to be a tough contest. It is. 225 once again next week. Got to do something well, and you got to do something good. But final thoughts on this game. I mean, let's go look at the team stats. I can tell you pretty much the entire story. 16 first downs for the Chiefs, 23 first downs for the Bills. Not going to be there. Third down efficiency, 3 for 13 for the Chiefs, 7 for 12 for the Bills. You were 2 for 3 on third down. That's great, but not much there. Not way less plays, but decent less plays, 64 plays to 57. You had 100 less yards of offense. Same amount of drives. Your yards play were fine. Your passing was fine. Your rushing was a big question mark, which, again, you didn't have Isaiah Pacheco, but is that something you need to go look at? Is this team now going to realize that even with Isaiah Pacheco, it's not good? Like, the things you need to fix, the things that could win you this game in the future, having a competent and better running back, and not that, I mean, if Isaiah Pacheco is it, great if you think that, but if not, I think you need to go trade for someone. And some sort of edge rusher that can contain a quarterback, a speed edge rusher. If that's Jalen Phillips, that's great. If it's somebody else, that's also fine. Jermaine Johnson, I don't care. There's edge rushers out there. They're speedy ones that you want. And if you can't get that, you need to find someone to cover the tight end. And those are your 3 main problems that you continue to have week in and week out. As your rushing attack is kind of lackluster, you can't figure out how to guard a running quarterback, and receiving tight ends become the death of you. And I know that this is both a very good receiving tight end team. I get that, but it's still a point to be made. But this game, for the stats that it is, it's not that lopsided. He only lost by 7, so that's a big reason why. But just be better. You got a bye week. You got a bye week and a trade deadline. From here on out, you need to be the Chiefs that we all expect. We need to be that 15-2 Chiefs we saw last year. And 5-4 is not a bad record at all. It's not. It's bad for the Chiefs, but it's not a bad record in the NFL. You can make the playoffs and be fine. We'll talk about it and kind of see it there. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this game. If you're watching on YouTube, get in the comment section. If you're on Apple Music or if you're on Spotify, you can always at me on Twitter at JaceAndrews_. I'm always there to talk ball, always there to talk about the Chiefs and what needs to be done to kind of figure this out. But overall, again, bye week, reset, figure it out. And you've got a game against Denver, a big one, interdivision rival right there in Denver, Mile High, going to be a tough game. Indianapolis and Dallas, obviously a Thanksgiving game versus Dallas. Going to be fun games and a Christmas game against Denver. It's going to be something to watch. It's going to be something to do. And hopefully it's something the Chiefs can succeed at. But this game gave me a lot of worry because the stats were there and you should have won. And you feel like you should have won this game in some aspects, but you got outplayed. And that's the scary part. Is there wasn't anything you did wrong. It was you weren't the better team. It's not to say that you can't be the better team for the rest of the season, but you weren't today. And this was a very good Chiefs team. So again, that's all we got for you. We appreciate you tuning in. Obviously, we'll keep you updated next day tomorrow with little podcast, 30 minutes. We'll talk about our trade deadline preview. We'll talk about this game, kind of the theme of it, and go back and look at some of the film and see exactly what went wrong. See if Mahomes was truly not getting anybody open or if he was not finding the right guys. We'll talk about them all here on the show today. And then, of course, Tuesday is the NFL trade deadline. Again, 4 p.m. Eastern. So be ready for that. We'll be probably having our show later on that day just because I want to make sure we get all the trades in, and kind of talk about how the rest of the league sees us. But we'll go with there. We thank you for watching. Again, Chiefs lose 28-21 to the Bills. This has been the Chiefs Report. Appreciate you watching, listening, and we'll see you next time here on the Rogue Media Sports Network. Peace out, guys.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.